a Mordekaiser Champion Spotlight.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight.
Featuring Mordekaiser, the Iron Revenant. Mordekaiser's passive is called Iron Man, which allows him to shield himself from incoming damage. Mordekaiser's shield is equal to 25% of his maximum HP. If Mordekaiser damages any enemy with an ability, he will gain a percentage of the damage dealt as a temporary shield. The percentage is reliant on the sort of units he damages, less against minions, more against champions. Mordekaiser's mace is a legendary weapon called Nightfall. Casting Q allows Mordekaiser to tap into its awesome power. Once cast, Mordekaiser's next 3 auto attacks become empowered, allowing him to deal bonus magic damage with the first 2 swings, and then double that damage in the third and final blow. The auto attack reset can be a very, very useful mechanic to play around, especially when the enemy team attempts a risky Baron. Called the Harvester of Sorrow, Mordekaiser's W has one of the longest ability descriptions in the game. It's a small wonder players don't know how it works. Aside from W's passive, which grants Mordekaiser 50% bonus experience from minions slain while near allies, Mord's W can be broken down into 3 further parts, as I will explain. The first part is the Magnet passive. While cast on an allied unit, Mordekaiser can increase his movement speed and/or that of the targeted allied unit by 75 movement speed while moving toward one another. While this simple mechanic can be useful in some skirmishes, sometimes you will not have an allied champion near you, so always look to your minions for the speed boost. Here you can see one of them giving me a quick pep step back to lane. The second part is the damage over time. Remember that magnet passive? Well, you're encouraged to get close to your W target, because if you can touch the circles, metallic shards will appear inside each circle and begin damaging enemy units caught inside either AoE. The last part is Mordekaiser's bread and butter. Few players realize that Mord's W is a self-heal, and even fewer know that it can also heal allies. After a brief 4-second duration, or when you choose to trigger W a second time, Mord's aura explodes, damaging all enemy units inside. Now here's the kicker. When your aura explodes, it can drain up to 2 enemy units inside of each aura of their HP. If you drain enemy minions, you will heal for 25% of the total damage dealt, per unit. Now, against enemy champions, you get 100% of the total damage dealt per unit drained. So if the maximum is 2 units, you can heal for up to 200% of the damage dealt. Late game, this can mean 200 to 700 HP heals every 6 seconds. Just about any League player will know to grab the lantern if a Thresh throws it for you. Just about any League player will know to pick a knock-up team comp if you're lucky enough to get a Yasuo on your team. If you play Morde, however, rarely anyone will know how your ally heal works. But if they do, it opens up some insanely powerful strategies. Imagine, if you will, that you and your team find themselves sieging the enemy bot lane at their second tower. Suppose you see that the enemy's Krug's camp is still up, and maybe your teammates all know not to kill this camp. Do you know what you've got on your hands? You've got an unending siege, a permanent Pokemon Center. In the span of just 120 seconds, you will heal yourself and your allies for over 4,000 HP. If you get nothing else from this spotlight, then please get this. Mordekaiser is obscure. No one knows anything about him. He is one of the few champions to remain unmasked. despite being around for 7 years. But if you think about the level of his healing, the horn on his helmet, and the fact that he too pays HP for his healing powers, things might become a little less obscure, and perhaps a little more memorable. Which is the point of this video, for you to remember how Mordekaiser works. Mordekaiser's E is called Siphon of Destruction. Mordekaiser's E deals magic damage to all enemy units inside a cone in a target direction. For each enemy champion hit, Mordekaiser generates a bonus percentage of his Iron Man passive. Before we come to Mordekaiser's ult, let's talk about pre-6 Mordekaiser. Since Mord's kit is lacking in range, he does his best versus melee champions, like this Riven. Riven does her best work by disrupting your casts with multiple forms of CC and then bursting you before you can fight back. Like Mord, she also has a self-shield. In this matchup, you will notice that as she approached to initiate a trade, I E her at max range, making sure I also hit a few minions to generate maximum shield. Before her first assault connects, stunning me, I start my W. While CC'd, I cannot auto-attack and also cannot reactivate my W for the heal, but in this example you don't want to. If you allow W to cast its full duration, that's not only extra damage, but also extra shield. In between Riven CC chain, I manage to channel my Q as it comes off cooldown and get first blood. But we're not done yet. Once you know a champion as well as I know Mordekaiser, you know your limits and learn to use your champion to its maximum potential. What two things begin with T? Teleport and tilt. Mordekaiser's ultimate is called Children of the Grave. Once cursed with this ability, the enemy takes half the damage straight away, and the second half over the course of 10 seconds. If the enemy dies within this 10-second span, their soul becomes Mordekaiser's slave for 45, 60, or 75 seconds, depending on your level. Because of the nature of Mordekaiser's ult, and the duration your slave lasts, should it be successful, it is one of the most flexible ultimates in the game. Allow me to elaborate. In this first case, we've managed to take an AD carry slave, but not just any AD carry, a Jhin. And not just any Jhin, but a Jhin that died with their 4th shot primed. Ever hear of ghosts unable to move on because of unfinished business? The devs that coded Mordekaiser's ultimate sure did. Because there are several champions in this game whose passives remain with them when Mordekaiser successfully ults them. Aside from surprising the enemy with hidden Easter eggs, like the Jhin perma 4th shot, Mordekaiser can be one of the best desperation playmakers in the game. No matter how far behind you are, if the enemy gives you an inch, you can take a mile.
You shit me? Hi, Billy Mays here. How you doing? But wait, there's more. Bye-bye. But I'm still not done.
This brings us to the final card up Mord's sleeve. His ultimate's passive, Dragon Force. Dragon Force activates whenever Mordekaiser deals damage to Dragon or Elder Dragon. If Dragon falls to Mord's team, Mord gets the Ghost. When Mord gets a Ghost, be it a champion or a dragon, the Ghost provides Mordekaiser with bonus HP, which in turn buffs his maximum shield. Since the bonus the Ghost provides is based off its own maximum HP, the bonuses granted by Dragon are significant. Besides added tankiness, Dragon provides several amazing plays, if you know how to make them. The biggest of which is called the Holy Diver Gank. This is a play which takes careful planning, but if your teammates stay on board, it can be brutal. It starts by warding the pit, teleport into the pit, Ideally, you'll want your support or jungler to clear any potential wards beforehand. If you and the jungler manage to take the dragon undetected, then the real fun can begin. Note that after dragon dies, Mord's ult is back up. If the enemy bot lane blew their summoners during the first dive, then you can dive them at the second tower and get another ghost. This technique is called ghost stacking. Keeping the game in a 6v4 state can snowball it very quickly, but again, these are strategies that require coordination and oftentimes a team comp. Repeat after me. Tanky engage is the stuff I need. Go in first so I don't feed. Haters call me bad, and that's a score I'ma settle. 'Cause bitch please, I put the meta in the master of metal.
Mommy, look! There's a stream called TheKingofEloHell.
Don't look, son. I don't want you influenced by... Oh, no! Son!
It's too late, Mom. We only main Morde here.